Hey, yo, it's David. What's going on, everybody? Today, we're back with some more 7 out of Sims Grand Cross. And we're going to be talking about whether or not you should summon for a Summer Merlin and Summer Elihawk. So, before the video starts, make sure you smack that like button and subscribe to the channel because we want to roll to 2K subs. So, without further ado, I think I'm going to get into Elihawk first. So, I'm going to just be talking about them overall, my experience and seeing them on JP since I think I'm a couple, maybe weeks ahead of global. So, I will give you my 2 cents, and then I will, well, first and foremost, I don't want to waste any time. Should you summon? I think no. But I will explain why. So, Red Elihawk, pretty good, honestly. Well, not like great as a unit, but like she's a fantastic backline unit. But let's go over passive / unique. Root travel, decrease the damage allies take from AoE attacks by 10% for each goddess race in battle. Decrease the damage allies take from single target attacks by 10% for each unknown race in battle. So theoretically, you can run like a full angel team and or unknown team because she can go both ways, or you can just fill the team up entirely. I don't know why, but I haven't thought of like building a team of Green Merlin, Ram or Rim, whichever one, or Amelia, because they're all fantastic options. Ram is really just for like unknown support, and I guess it'll go like hand in hand with this, or you can use the Rim so she just doesn't get one shot by the one. I think that single target damage reduction would be great since it's like 3 unknown allies. She'll get like 30% damage reduction. That's pretty sick. But with Gother as well, I think with all those on the team, I think it might look good on paper, but in actuality, it might not be good at all because, you know, Bond is a thing, and like Ram and Merlin and Bond is like being red, type advantage, all that good stuff. Plus, that team is basically mono red too. So, but if you run a full goddess team, it actually is quite potent, bro. Because since Bond does not single target AoE damage with his detonate and his ultimate, she can kind of alleviate the damage he does. Now, I know I don't have the sickest Bond, like he's only 1/6, but I actually did fight Yamcha's team with her like being backline, and she is quite the backline unit when you have a full team of Archangels, bro. It's actually stupid, bro. You can't do damage to them. It's literally impossible. Her first skill, decreased skill rank, can be pretty useful. I think this card is fantastic when it's AoE, but when it's single target, it's not that great. Because you can just like de-rank the skills of everyone. I feel like that's way more impressive than when it comes to just one person, especially if they're like taunt units running around like Red Arthur, Blue Droll, Green Small Dan, all that stuff. Y'all are familiar with these units, but I think when it's AoE is fantastic. Her second skill decreases attack related stats of all enemies by 40% for 3 turns. Actually, I want to see who else like lowers attack really fast. Skill filter. I think stat decrease, attack related stats. I know he does it. Does he do how many turns? 1 turn. Oh, so that's the difference. His does damage, but in return, it does it for 1 less turn. Hers just straight up does it for 2 turns at level 1, and then 3 turns at level 3. That's kind of sick. All right. At first, I think when I first went over information, I was like, oh, I wish it at least like did damage because it's like the same multiply, like the same amount is being decreased, but I guess the only difference is the turns since she's not doing damage. If she comes out and you do this and you have like relatively like 2 other goddess clan members on your team, they really won't do no damage to you because it's the only person who can do damage to you if you fight another Ludosio or the one who just like cleanses debuffs. But even then when it's not like 3rd turn, you can still like kind of control them. But with Bond, no, you can't do this. This actually is fodder. So that's kind of sad for him because people always forget about the second part of his passive where he just like gets rid of like stat reducing debuffs. That's the real sad part about Bond, even though he scales off his HP. Then our ultimate is charged, pretty typical. That's pretty much it for her. I think she's a pretty nice backline unit. As far as like being on the field, I don't think she's that great unless she's like controlling no gauge. But yeah, that's pretty much it for her. If I had to give her like something out of 10, it'd probably be like a 6 or 7. If anything, like a 6.7 out of 10. She's alright. Like, I don't think she's crazy or anything like that. But let's move on to the blue lady, Truth Seeker Merlin. Her passive is making a sandcastle. Whoa, very, very original. When the hero uses 2 skills on an ally turn, on your turn, disable attack skills of all enemies for 1 turn. When the hero uses 3 skills on an ally turn, on your turn, prevents ultimate move gauge from filling for 2 turns. That is sick for 2 turns. Honestly, if you get 3 or 4 cards, you are gold. Although, I feel like, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, Blue Merlin was fantastic 2 weeks ago. And here's why. I'm gonna tell you this. She could just steal, and then she could stop you from rushing the old gauge. She's fantastic against Bond. That's what I'm gonna say. First and foremost, she is fantastic against Bond. But you can stop his ult from going off, and you can seal him his attack seals. She does flood damage, so she does a nice amount of damage, 500% level 3, and an extra 0.8%. For how much HP she adds, that's pretty nice, bro. And then she can control gauge here too. She can stop gauge, she can control gauge, and she can hit decently well. I'm liking it. Her pierce rate 50%. Her crit chance is 70%. That is fantastic. I don't think I need to go over Elihawk's stats because she's basically the same. Crit resistance is 65%. Crit defense is terrible, 30%. And her life steal is 15%. Anything over 10% is like fantastic. But yeah, and then her ultimate decrease HP related stats of all enemies by 30% for 2 turns. That she is a Bond counter if I've ever seen one in my life. Now, the reason I said she was good 2 weeks ago is because when she came out, she is a bona fide like Bond counter. But one little thing they did last week or this week is they buffed this unit for no reason. At first, it was just a buff where it increased damage dealt to type disadvantaged units, and then you receive damage by like a certain amount less when you had type advantage. Let's say Margaret Ludo is blue, right? So if a green unit attacked her with the buff, she would receive less damage. But if Ludo attacked a red unit, she would do more because she has type advantage. You get what I'm saying? You following me? But since they buffed Margaret Ludo for no reason, she removes debuffs from all allies and increased damage dealt in general. It doesn't even like count towards type advantage or type disadvantage. No more of that funny business. None of that. Oh, I have to attack with type disadvantage. No, bro. Just increased damage dealt and decreased damage taken. It's just straightforward now. It's no more dancing around. And Sever, and then at 6/6 blocks all skill effects, including those of ultimate moves, and decrease ultimate move damage by 30%. They made her stupid. And before this buff, I think Merlin was a fantastic counter to Bond and Margaret Ludo, because you just do 2 cards and you seal, and then if you get lucky, you get 3. Oh, you just completely stop ult gauge. But now that is not a thing because Cleanse is back, baby, and it is running the game. So Merlin, I still think she can do some sick damage. If you fight Bond, if you just want to counter the Bond, maybe I could see you making a case like, oh, I want to summon for Merlin, and then Elihawk, just for having a team for Ludo. But otherwise, I would say, nah, bro, you don't need to summon on just because Margaret Ludo is now like the best unit in the game just because of this card here, this far right card. Remove debuffs from all allies, increase damage. No, increase the basic stats of all allies and by 20% for 3 turns, and increase damage dealt by 50%, and reduce damage taken by 40%. That is the best card in Grand Cross 3. That borderline should have been like 2nd year anniversary like card. Like Bond is stupid, but this card by itself is just stupid, bro. Bond overall, I think it's just like a fantastic unit, but this card, it's a whole nother level of stupid. I didn't even go over his passive or their passive. Increase basic stats of Goddess race allies by 8% every time an ally uses stance or buff. And then every time, like when attacking, When attacking using skills, for every stance or buff effect on the enemy, increase hero's basic stats. Well, hero attack by 5%. So if they have a stance and or buffs on them, Margaret goes burr. So and that couldn't single-handedly like take care of some Merlin. But if you wanna, like I said, if you want someone to like lock down Bond, I think Merlin is a fantastic option. If you really hate Bond that much, I don't think Bond is more hated than like the One or Goddess Ellie. I should also mention that this passive activates even if you cannot touch them. Like even if they have a shield up and you do 2 attacks, let's say you hit, let's say you have 2 of these AoE cards right here. If you hit them with an Ellie shield and they do not break through, it does not matter. It still applies to them. I should throw that in. That is also an extra little piece of information I found out with Merlin. Because I didn't break Ellie shield one time and the effect still went on them. And it was absolutely fantastic. I was like, wow, they didn't even get hit and it still gets applied to them. Just use 2 cards, bro, and you good. So that's gonna do it. Let me know if you're gonna summon for these summer units. I think if anything, I think Elihawk might be the worst, but I think she's a fantastic backline unit. And Merlin is just like to be ran in the front. So yeah, that's gonna do it. Thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna catch you in the next one. All right, peace out.